Assalamualaikum and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's forums. First of all, I would like to thank all of the audience in front of me. Thank you very much for attending the forum today. Our issue for today is fascinating facts about Takaful. My name is Siti Hajar as a moderator for today. Before the presentation begins, allow us introduce the presenter. This is our presenter, Nur Amelin. Our second presenter is Sabira. Our third presenter is Rabiatul. Our fourth presenter is Fakihah. What is Takaful? Takaful is type Islamic insurer wherein members contribute money into a pool system to guarantee each other against loss and or damage. Takaful branded insurance is based on Sharia or Islamic religion law, which explain how individuals are responsible to cooperate and protect one another. Takaful policy cover health, life, and general insurance needs. So what is type of Takaful? Without further ado, I would like to welcome the first presenter to deliver the presenter. Alright, Miss Ameline, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Hajar. First and foremost, I would like to thank to the organizer for inviting me to deliver some benefits information on our forums today. So as you can see, there are types of takaful, which are the first one is family takaful and the second one is general takaful, and there are various products under both takaful. Let me explain for the family takaful. The first type under family takaful is family takaful. This takaful provide protection policy and long-term savings. Next, investment that linked takaful. This takaful combine investment syariah with takaful cover. The third one is medical and health takaful. This takaful with coverage for the cost of private hospital medical treatment and hospitalizations. And the last one is child education takaful. This takaful obviously will will offer you a long-term saving for your child highest education expense. Next, for the general takaful, there are three types. The first one is motor takaful. This takaful will protect you against loss or damage to a third party due to accident, theft, or accident fire. It also covers loss or damage of third party. Second is home takaful. There are two types of home takaful, which are the house owner takaful and the household takaful. This takaful will cover against loss of damage of the house. And the lastly is personal accident takaful. This takaful will provide you and your beneficiaries with compensations in the event of death, injury, or disability from an accident. I think that's all my point.
Thank you, Ms. Amelie, for the information about this type of takaful. It's clear that there are two types of takaful, which are family takaful and general takaful. Next, Ms. Sabira, can you give the difference of takaful and conventional insurance?
Thank you, Ms. Hajar, for the question. At the beginning of this forum, Ms. Hajar already gave explanation about takaful and to have a better understanding, let me give you an example of insurance. Insurance can be defined as a contract whereby one person, called the insurer, undertakes in return for the agreed consideration, called the premium, to pay for another person, called the insured, the sum of money uh, on the happening of a specific event during a specific period. Back to the question, there are a few differences between takaful and insurance. First, in terms of intention, for takaful, the intention is to create both spiritual and legal relationship. But for insurance, the intention is just to create legal relation only. Second term is subject matter. For the takaful, the subject matter must be syariah justified, but for insurance, the subject matter must be justified by common law. The third one is in terms of guarantee. For takaful, the participant mutually guarantees each other, but for the insurance, the guarantee is provided by the company. Next one is in terms of fund. For takaful, the fund belongs to the participant and managed by the takaful operator for a legitimate consideration for a service rendered. But for insurance, the fund belongs to the company through separation of assets between the shareholders and the policyholders. Next one is in terms of contribution payment or premium. For Takaful, contribution payment is treated as donation or tabaruk. And for insurance, the premium is creates an obligation against the insurer on a sale and purchase contract. The last one is in terms of forbidden elements. For Takaful, based on Islamic principles and free from any forbidden elements. But for insurance, insurance policy revolves around the element of gharar, riba, and maisir. That's all for my point.
Okay, thank you to Miss Sabira. The next question I would like to ask Miss Rabiatul about general takaful because it seems like most of people lack of this knowledge. Okay, next, Miss Rabiatul.
Thanks to our moderator for the question. Basically, for your information, Life Takaful is a contribution scheme that requires its contributors to pay a certain amount on a monthly or annual basis. Maybe there are some people who ask, what is the real function of this life insurance? Its main objective is to help and alleviate the burden of family members, especially from the financial aspect after the contributors die. Some of the benefits of life takaful coverage can be enjoyed, which is provide cash and income to family members in the event of the policyholders death so that they can pay bills, taxes, and other liabilities without any problem. And then it enabling families to maintain their standard of living in the event that the person responsible for providing for the entire family dies. And lastly, it provides ongoing financial resources to the surviving wife or husband. Some of the takaful, some of the life takaful plans are term plans, saving plans, children's investment, and retirement. For general takaful, is a form of risk management that complies with Sharia law based on the principle of risk sharing to protect participants from suffering financial loss, liability, or injury as a result of following a disaster or accident to property, assets, or persons. General takaful is also known as property and casualty takaful. General takaful is categorized into two classes, namely motor and non-motor. Takaful motor provides protection to participants against loss or damage to the participant vehicle due to fire, thief or accident, and injury or death of a third party as well as loss or damage to property of a third party. The type of vehicle covered under motor takaful private vehicles, commercial vehicles, and motorcycles. Meanwhile, for non-motor takaful, consists of three types or classes, namely fire takaful, miscellaneous takaful, and marine takaful. Fire takaful provide protection to participants against basic fire takaful, homeowner takaful, household takaful, and others takaful. Miscellaneous takaful provide protection to participants against thief takaful, liability takaful, personal accident takaful, and others takaful. And lastly is marine takaful, provide protection to participants against marine cargo, marine ship frame, marine freight, and others takaful. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for the knowledge you delivered to me and Auden. It's such a great knowledge that we can gain. So the other question that I wanted to ask is about hiba. So what is hiba, Miss Fakiha?
Thank you, Miss Haja. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this forum. I feel very excited to share my knowledge to all of you. So now let's continue to our discussion. So what is hibah? Hibah means the giving of ownership of an item to a person without any return. In other words, hibah also means a gift given by a person to another person voluntarily while he or she is still alive. Hibah is a Sharia concept applied in Takaful product and practiced by Takaful company in various family Takaful plans such as Takaful education plan. In the Takaful education plan, for instance, a Takaful participant will make a hibah of the Takaful benefit to his child to finance the cost of his education in future. Upon death of the Takaful participant, all Takaful benefit will become the rights of his nominated child and will not be distributed amongst the other legal heirs of the deceased according to the faraid. Nevertheless, if the takaful participant is still alive when the takaful certificate matches, the benefit will be surrendered to him. In addition, withdrawal of hibah is permissible in the following context, which is hibah with a withdrawal condition. Next, hibah which is yet to be delivered corp. Hibah Next, hibah that is written by the legal heirs, and lastly, a father's hibah to his child. So that's all for now. Back to Miss Haja.
Thank you to Ms. Fakiha. So, what is the risk management for individual, and there a step that can be taken if risk management happen in our life?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. For the first questions, as you can see, risk management at level individual is a key element of life cycle finance, which recognize that as investor age, the fundamental nature of their total wealth involve as the risk that they face. The next slide. Um, this is for the second question. There are typical key steps in the risk management process for individual can taken. The first one is you need to specify the objective of the risk, identify the risk, and evaluate the risk. For the fourth step, select appropriate method to manage the risk. In this step, you can choose what kinds of takaful that related to the risk. Next, monitor outcome and also monitor the risk exposure. And the last step is you can make appropriate adjustment in the method. I think that's all. I hope this step will help you in the future.
Thank you, Miss Ameline, for the brilliant ideas. Okay, this time I would like to ask Miss Sabira about the idea to contribute to Islamic risk management system and takaful industry.
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. As we know that Sharia compliance is an important aspect for both Islamic risk management and takaful industry. So for the first idea, IFIs need to strike a balance by implementing equally effective measures that comply with both Sharia requirements and sound financial practice. Sharia risk should be the forefront for the IFI, including Takaful companies. As the society's understanding on Sharia is generally low, they tend to rely heavily and put their trust on the Takaful Sharia Supervisory Board decision on products and operation. Next, approach to risk management may include having a common language in terms of concept, definition, and classification. Adopt a wide discipline approach, creating and instill a strong risk governance focused on aspect that is quantifiable and seek for continuous improvement. In this sense, the industry is able to share the best practice among the Takaful operators. Adapting the appropriate approach will make risk management more relevant, practical, and acceptable. The important techniques of risk management adopted by the Takaful operator are self-assessment risk, asset liability management, solvency capital, Takaful or risk transfer program, key risk indicators, warning the business on possibility of risk and any loss, and business continuity management. I think that's all for the idea. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you to Miss Sabira. So the last question I would like to ask Miss Rabiatul and Miss Fakiha. So as we know, most of people still not using takaful rather than insurance. What is your suggestions and solution to promote takaful to Muslim? So we pass to Miss Rabiatu.
Thanks to Miss Moderator for the question. My solution or suggestion how to promote Takaful to Muslims is firstly, Takaful companies can collaborate with the education industry and scholars in the area of Islamic banking and finance. With this collaboration, they can arrange and support in spreading awareness about Takaful products in public, especially Muslims who are still confused in differentiating conventional insurance and Takaful products. Not only that, through these campaigns and seminars, we'll also be able to help the public in answering the question if they are facing any confusion in understanding and operating of Takaful. Secondly, to increase awareness of the public, Takaful company may organize high-profile media campaigns such as creating television advertisements and hiring famous and well-known celebrities to endorse Takaful products. Lastly, social media will also play an important position in explaining the benefits of Takaful through expo, exhibition and roadshow or motivational talk for public awareness. Through this event, it can help steadily increase and maintain the public's perceptions about Takaful. That's all for me.
Okay, we pass to Miss Fakiha.
Thank you again, Miss Haja. So as we can see nowadays, so many Takaful operators in Malaysia. There are a lot of Takaful product being offered in Malaysian financial industry. But still many Malaysian people choose conventional insurance instead of Takaful insurance for Muslim themselves. This phenomena is not good for Muslim people as they should support Muslim product. In my opinion, firstly, the Takaful agents need to strengthen their efficiency and effectiveness in marketing channels. This is because Takaful industry rely on their agency system as it is the main medium for marketing the Takaful product recently. The responsibility to sell the Takaful product is on the Takaful agent's hand. The agents must have excellent knowledge of their product together with the good skill to market them. It is important also for the agents to practice the Islamic marketing to approach the public. However, the majority of them tends to stress only the profit or commission in the marketing activities like the agent employed by the conventional insurance industry. Second, people awareness is also the important things here. The agents must implement the people mind that Takaful is the Islamic insurance and they must choose it instead of conventional insurance because conventional insurance contains roror, maisir and riba which are prohibited in Islam but Takaful is free from those three. So by choose Takaful, Muslim people also do ibadah. In this regards, Islam has emphasized that Muslims should ensure that their as welfare once they die. This in line with the one of the hadiths of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet said it is better for you to leave your offspring wealthy than to leave them poor, asking others for help. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for your solution and suggestion, Miss Fakiha and Rabiatu. Ladies and gentlemen, finally we come to the end part of our presentation. We would like to say thanks again to the presenter for the informative and interesting talk and to the audience for active participation. Hopefully, the presentation will be beneficial for everyone. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.